Joining me now is Sunday Night in America host and former federal prosecutor Trey Gowdy. Trey, it's great to see you here today. I don't profess to be an expert on the First Amendment, but I do happen to know a little bit about free speech and the constitutional history of free speech. Tell me about Jack Smith's argument that President Trump's words were not protected, that President Trump's words could be prosecuted because others acted criminally.
Yeah, I think among many other points, Will, that was a really weak theory. I'm a little surprised he went there. Literally, the speech at the ellipse was criminal, according to Jack Smith. So if you and I were to talk today and I were to say something and you were to go to rob a mini mart in Texas, I guess you would say that Trey provoked me to do that. It's a horrible legal thing. By the way, don't do that. It's a horrible legal theory. I'm surprised he went there. I think the better idea was from the moment of the election until the certification, there was a conspiracy. I'm not saying it's a good theory, but it's a better theory than the speech itself was criminal. Good lawyers know that it was not.
I would say almost every lawyer knows that it's not. And that kind of brings back into the motivations and intentions of Jack Smith. Surely he's a better lawyer. Maybe he was trying to advance a novel case on the limits of the First Amendment, Trey, but there's virtually all you have to do is read a little bit of court history, a little bit of precedent to understand the limitations on free speech. And it's got to be a direct incitement to violence. Nothing the president said that day, nor even the arguments made by Jack Smith, amounted to anything that previously would have been considered criminal or a limit on free speech.
To the contrary, the president used the word peaceful, which oftentimes gets left out when that clip is played. I think it is dumbfounding that Smith, I mean, there are a lot of things that I would have liked to have asked that you and I may have asked if we'd been at this hearing. My top line takeaway, it is dumbfounding to me that you are starting with the speech and you view that as an overt act in this larger conspiracy because you say no lawyer. There might be somewhere, one in a psychiatric unit somewhere that thinks that this speech was criminal. But anyone who listens, look, I was listening live on air. I wasn't crazy about the speech. I thought he went after Tom Cotton and he should not have. But it wasn't a criminal speech.
Well, and that's why I suggest either Jack Smith is a completely incompetent lawyer or he was motivated by something other than a rational application of the law. I do want to ask you about this. This is fascinating. Several Democrats, most of them members of the squad, joined with Republicans to advance contempt resolutions for Bill and Hillary Clinton. This is due to their failure to appear before Congress on the Epstein case. Now, Trey, this is the very same situation where we saw Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, held in contempt, taken to jail in some of those cases. Am I to expect then that these Democrats and a reasonable outcome could be the same for the Clintons?
Yes, you don't necessarily have to answer questions. You can assert privilege, although interesting, Counselor Kane, Congress does not recognize the same privileges that you and I recognized in court, but you can't not show up. And they just flat out did not show up. So that's bad faith. It is contempt of Congress. It'll be referred to the floor of the House. I'd be shocked if it were not referred to DOJ for prosecution. What this tells me is two things. The Clintons are expendable politically. They're yesterday's news. They don't care about him anymore. But more importantly, Democrats think this Epstein story is good for them. And if they are prosecuted, it stays in the public domain. And for some reason, Democrats think this story helps them.
More than the Clintons, to your point of them being expendable. That is what's interesting about Democrats holding the Clintons in contempt. Now it will be up to the greater House and the DOJ to see if we apply the same standards to Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro as we do Bill and Hillary Clinton. Great to see you, Trey Gowdy.
You too, Will. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.